Alrighty. Finally, I got this stream to work again. Let's look at. Let's go back to surface winds. Definitely, there will be wind shear. Look at that. You're gonna have storms coming in from the west. You have southerly winds here, westerly winds here. So you're gonna have. And also, warmer compared to the previous run too. Looking at this does not look good. Look at that. More supercells of the discrete variety tomorrow, and tomorrow they won't be coming in from the northwest like today. They'll be coming in more from the west, where there's gonna be a lot more instability tomorrow. So they're really gonna explode tomorrow. They're really gonna. I mean, with these kind of temperatures, a lot of severe weather tomorrow. Let's look at the Cape for tomorrow. These are anything greater than yellow. If you're having yellow or higher, that's not good for Cape. Thing is, you see right here, Cape is trying to reach New York City, but it really is not. Sort of the same issue today too. A lot of strong storm tomorrow. Look at that. DBZ up to 68. That's signifying some large hail. Now it's showing the updraft helicity swaths to the south of New York City. But, it's going to flip flop from run to run. Another thing that's going to flip flop from run to run is the forecast for the surface temperatures. Oh yeah, definitely some severe storms tomorrow. So good chance of hail tomorrow. I mean, Monday, New England. Not that week. Look at that. Snow in Canada in June. How unusual is that? Look at that. Yeah, that's crazy. I bet it's because of the record low Arctic sea ice. Just let's look at that for a second. That's all. I'm not gonna drone on this, but yeah, it's pretty scarily low. It's like scary how low it is. The good news is that the rate of decline, it's yeah. Let's go back to the severe weather coverage for tomorrow. Looks like some widespread severe weather tomorrow. Let's go back to updraft helicity swaths. Let's look at that again. Hey, thanks for joining. This is only going to last maybe, this live stream will only last for maybe 15-20 more minutes and I'm going to have to end it. But I'm just showing that for tomorrow there's going to be some threat of severe weather in the New York City area, northeastern Pennsylvania. Every one of these lines you see here, that's a supercell. That's indicating helicity. What helicity is actually rotating thunderstorms. Helicity, when something is helio or round, it represents rotation, something that is spinning. That's why it's called helio. The sun is round, so it rotates. So heliosphere. So helicity is an act of something that is in the process of rotation. Or it's round. It's rotating. So those are updraft helicity swaths right there. And those brighter colors you see right there, if you look really closely, those are hail cores. Well, according to the model run. But the last run looked even more impressive. Look at that. Just check that out. That looks really scary. And it keeps on varying from run to run, depending on what run you look like. Depending on what run you look at, you keep on varying. See, showing supercells. Tomorrow's gonna be a very, just let's say tomorrow's gonna be a very, very active day. Lots of storms tomorrow, may be just as bad if not worse than yesterday. And I think the SPC might have just came out with a new outlook now. Let's see. Yep. They did exactly what I said they should have done. They put New York City in a slight and enhanced for New Jersey. Let's check now. Wind, hail, and like a tornado. I think the high threat of tornadoes, I think they should put maybe a 5% chance in here even. Yep. They did the right thing. But I think they should, I think the enhanced, I think New York City should be included in the enhanced risk. Well, not New York City. I think it should be a sharp cutoff like this, but I would put the enhanced up to about here. But I think this looks pretty much right. Let's look at the, for where? In the wake of running early morning convection air mass. Yep, as this feature. Right. So the air mass forecast to become moderately unstable. Storms should quickly intensify, aided by the persistent belt of strong westerly deep layer flow across the area. While some tornado risk is expected, particularly near ahead of the weak surface low and associated warm front, where back low-level flow will be present, the greater risk appear to be locally damaging winds and hail. Some CAM guidance suggests that storms may grow upscale through the afternoon, merging into at least loosely organized clusters as it sweeps across eastern portions of the risk area and off the Atlantic coast during the evening. Should this occur, more widespread wind risk would likely evolve and thus have expanded the enhanced risk area slightly, extending it off the mid-Atlantic coast. Let's see, they did that. Did they expand off the mid-Atlantic coast? Yeah, they did. Pretty good thinking there, definitely. And the models are definitely hinting that, right here. I think this run definitely like expresses that idea, right here. And then this might develop into QLCS, which is I know it's linear convective, so it's QLCS, quasi-linear convective system. It's a squall line. You don't always need a QLCS along the cold front. Let's look at New York City radar now. Some thunder showers in Fairfield County. See any lightning with it? Looks like not. No lightning with that activity. A lot of lightning off the coast. This is a storm that came from New York City. A lot of lightning in this area. Wow. Nothing tense. Alrighty. Let's just take one more look before I go to bed. What's the most likely thing that's going to happen tomorrow is a squall line. So some of them will be supercellular in nature, as evidenced by this. Let's look at updraft helicity swaths. This is the midnight run. So more severe weather is expected tomorrow, especially across northeastern Pennsylvania. Looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for tomorrow, I think the 30% risk of hail is definitely good, because I would definitely include northeastern Pennsylvania as well. But New York City is actually in a slight risk for hail, which it wasn't today though. So the fact that New York City actually had a higher threat of severe weather than it did today, because New York City was actually in a slight in the marginal risk. Today, New York City is in a slight risk, which is a little scarier. See, New York City is in the slight risk for hail. Oracle. Tornadoes. There's a hatch area for tornadoes. Highest rate of hail. Yeah, even Trenton, oh look, southern part of Staten Island's actually in it. Huh, yep. Even the most southern edge of New York City is actually in that. Yep. You would think New York City's not in it. Actually, Staten Island is actually included in the 30% risk. So as the most southern parts of Brooklyn. Right there. Barely see it. Staten Island's in it. And Far Rockaway's in the 30% risk too. So yeah. Ooh, and even New York City, slight chance of tornadoes. Look at that. Funny thing is, they put wind and hail in the same risk. Yeah, that's a little funny. Tornado. The thing is, yes, New York City is in a 2%. Look. Even the most southern parts of Brooklyn is also in the 5%. So if anything, my thinking now is, especially with this one, Scranton being here, I would actually want to increase this area here. So I would try to maybe put the enhanced here. Wow. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'm ending the live stream now. Just a reminder, severe weather tomorrow across Pennsylvania, extending into New York City. So if you're from New York City southward, be on the lookout for severe weather. But I think the one saving grace for New York City itself will be some, what I would call a sea breeze. I will kick in and maybe deliver some stabilization of the atmosphere to New York City, but not a significant amount of stabilization, because look at this. You're going to have a lot of instability to contend with here. If this area gets into the 80s, if there's significant warming here that the models are not hinting on, these storms will be even stronger than the models are hinting now. So let's look at 4Z. That's a good reference point. Look at that, 80s. So yep, super weather definitely a possibility tomorrow, especially in this area here. This is, I would say, the highest risk area, right over here for tornadoes. I would actually give it a 10% chance right in this area. That's where you have your highest chance of tornadoes. Well, thank you for watching and have a great day. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. And yes, Craft, how's art? I am doing that. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you so much.